Okay, here we go. Facebook Live with Coach Rob. I'm down here in my little gym, and you can't see him, maybe-ish, but behind me is my boy Kaiser. I think I screwed up these times, so I apologize completely. Something that's like funny about my personality is like I'm really good at like certain things and then really fucking bad at other things. And attention to detail and organization are sometimes not some of my strong points, okay? So I'm going to see now, give it a second here and see if some people jump on. But in the meantime, I was working on something earlier, which is typical and common mistakes that women make in the weight room and in strength training. And like one of the big ones I kept going back to all the time, hello Alyssa, is women just don't rest enough. All right. So I've got a really cool document coming out on mistakes women make in the weight room, which will help you a lot. But in the meantime, hello ladies and welcome. I hope everything is good. This is the first time that I've kind of like done this down here in my gym, trying to improve my audio quality and my video quality and all that stuff. So I appreciate you bearing with me and stuff. So feel free to say hi. Tell me where you're from. Ask me some questions if you want. I'm here to help you any way that I can. I have a tendency sometimes to speak too fast, so I'm going to do my best to not speak too fast. And I look forward to helping you. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, say hi and tell me where you're from, okay? And I said this when I started a few minutes ago. I always love having a barbell in front of me. It's just such a good feeling. I probably screwed up the times on this. So if I screwed up the times, and I think I said today was like supposed to be like 4 Eastern, and I kind of fucked it up. Hi, Naomi. So I apologize. But anyway, for the next one on Friday and the following Monday, I will be sure to get my time and Eastern Standard Time correct so that I don't screw up something as simple as this, okay? So ladies, do me a favor. Tell me where you're from, okay? I got a few people joining here now. Hi, Sky. I hope you are doing well and I miss you. Sky just joined, and Sky is one of the students that trains with me at the gym, and we are in Stage 5 lockdown right now, which means all gyms are closed and pretty much all non-essential businesses are, so not much fun here in Newfoundland in that way at the moment. So say hi and tell me where you're from. I'm just here getting like a little, like a foot rub with Kaiser, who's behind me. He never leaves my side. So don't be, hello Robin, don't be afraid to ask me any questions. I'm going to do this for around 30 minutes or so. Usually I like to have a glass of wine while doing this and kind of like call it wine time with Coach Rob, but I'm actually trying to do my best for February to do a dry February with my birthday on February 26th, and then I'm going to probably celebrate with some wine. But until then, I'm going to try my best to not have any. So why is everybody so quiet tonight? I see a whole bunch of you ladies popping on, but nobody asking me any questions, nobody even saying hi to me. I don't know if I fucked up one of the settings, or maybe you just don't like me today. I don't know. But feel free to say hi and tell me where you're from, okay? Hi, Joanne. It's good to see you on here. You're always very supportive and very positive in the group, and I love that so much. I'm very grateful for that. So let's get some questions going. And if you don't, I'm going to pick a random topic to kind of talk about for a little bit, and we can kind of go forward on that. Nobody, nothing, no questions, none. Hi, Shelly. Let me just see if I'm missing here. Hold on. No, you're all just a quiet bunch. Okay. One of the things I was talking about earlier is a document kind of thing that I'm working on, which is common mistakes that women make in strength training, okay? In the gym, whether it's at home or lifting weights. But hi, Angie. Common mistakes that I see, okay? One of them is always not resting enough. Women generally are always in a rush. They're always trying to get things done. They're always trying to be more productive. They're always trying to do things faster. They're always trying to be more efficient. I think it's like many female traits that exist there. But when it comes to lifting, especially when it comes to heavy lifting, you have to make sure you take your time and you have to make sure that you have enough recovery time, okay? That's one common thing that I see. The next thing I see all the time is women often don't lift heavy enough, okay? Most women have a tendency to like chase after, hi Michelle, good to see you on here. Most women chase after the burn, the feeling of doing more, the feeling of being worked more. But because you're feeling that you're doing more doesn't necessarily mean that you are doing more. Sometimes some of the best training workouts that you can have are workouts where you don't annihilate the muscle group, and like my legs are completely trashed. There's many other ways to get progress besides trashing your muscle groups. So you don't always have to equate progress with fatigue in that way, if that makes sense. How come there's like no questions and nobody saying hi? Am I like, did I fuck something up on this tonight? I probably did. There's a reason I can't do many things on my own. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, ladies, there's 50 people watching so far and nobody has said hi to me, which means or has told me where you live, which means you guys don't like me or I screwed something up. So let's see. Hopefully it's option number 2, okay? So if you can, anybody watching right now, tell me where you're from immediately. Just comment and say, hi from Texas or hi from Australia or wherever you are. Because otherwise, I think I might have... Oh, never mind. We're back. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let's see, Robin. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to read this really quickly. A question from Robin. It says, hi, I have a question. I know that you have said that you are not a macros guy. So, and sorry if this is a stupid question, but what does that mean exactly? Do you count calories, protein, and, how do you approach nutrition coaching? This is actually a really good question, Robin. It's actually a really good question. Here's how I approach my nutrition right now and how I recommend it with clients that I work with, okay? I recommend tracking and knowing macros in terms of protein, fats, carbs, calories to get an idea of what your ballpark number maybe should be, okay? But once you have an idea of the basics of nutrition, then it's more trying to find out what works for you, what works for your lifestyle, and what's something that you can stick to, okay? So like right now for me, when I'm trying to get lean, I'm the leanest and lightest I've been since I've done a bodybuilding show, I have tracked this many calories, okay? None and zero, nada. But I know my nutrition. I have a tendency to eat the same things every day, and then I manipulate those things as needed, okay? But I don't think it's a good idea to get consistently obsessed with numbers and calories and macros, because I think it kind of like can fuck with your head a little bit. And I also think it can take away at times the joy of food, And I just think learning how to, I don't know if way to put it, but I think that like knowing how and what to eat and when to eat is very important to the person. So my goal is to give people skills to make better decisions, to make better choices than it is to just track numbers, if that makes sense, okay? Michelle, thank you so much. I miss the gym. I miss coaching my friends. I miss everybody. Okay, we got stuff going on here now. Oklahoma, hello. Sandra, hello. Hello from Norway. That's very cool. Powerlifting Worlds was supposed to be in Norway this year, and I was really hoping to make it there as a coach. And, well, fucking COVID. Let's see. Hello, England. Hello, Wales. Okay, we got Georgia. Now I'm a happy boy. Texas, England. Okay, so if you are here, ask me some questions. I would love to help. Nikki from Texas. It's so cold here right now. Can't wait to get to the gym. So I've seen what's going on in Texas, and it's like, what a fucked up place that is right now, hey? I've been to Texas like 3 times, and like if you were to go outside my door right now, it's worse than what Texas is, and this is just like another day in Newfoundland in the winter. So it's just funny what you guys are going through. But when you're not prepared and you're not expected, you kind of get fucked, right? But you don't expect that. Hello, Ontario. Hello, Texas. Okay, let's see. A question here from Naomi. Okay. Why can I build strength in general, but struggle with my arms? It's letting me down when trying to lift heavier. Okay. Pretty common, especially with women, because the muscle group and the muscle mass of that area is going to be much smaller compared to something else, especially when, say, compared to the lower body, all right? But here's a couple of things that you can do to improve your arm strength to try to get it to catch up to the rest of you. Number 1 is prioritize what's important. So if your arm strength is number 1, do some type of arm strength training / hypertrophy exercise before you get to your big lifts. All right. So like, let's say today, if I was going to, like, my arms have always been a struggle as well. I think part of that is genetic as well, many factors, but train the muscle group that's a priority first. So Naomi, let's say if you're focusing on the big three, let's say it's squat day. Before you squat or before you bench press or before you deadlift, do some type of arm-based movement and try to get like 4 to 8 sets in before you move on to your bigger lift, okay? Then, after you do your main lifts, then do some more, but do it with a bit more lighter, a little bit more reps, a little bit more volume. So for example, a couple of weeks ago when I was going to one of the local gyms here, and when I owned a gym, we had no machines. All we had was dumbbells, kettlebells, free weights. But anyway, this gym had machines, and it had a leg extension machine. So every single workout when I went in, whether it was leg day or not leg day, I always started my workout with extensions. If it was a leg day, I would start my workout with extensions. Leg focus day, shall we say. I would then, at the very end of my workout, come back and finish up with single leg extensions, okay? So prioritize what's important, and if your arms are the weaker area, try to get them stronger. But then another important factor is if your arms are weak, get really, really strong at dips and try to get really strong at pull-ups. They will kind of like pick up a lot of the weak links in the chain, and if you're strong enough to do them, your arms probably won't be very weak anymore. Hello from Italy. Okay, let's see. Where'd it go? Sorry, ladies, bear with me. Let's see here now. My apologies. Almost back there. Okay. Okay, so question from Laura from Italy, which is very cool. I'm following your pull-up progression, your steps for pull-ups. How many times should I insist on doing step 1 before I go to the next step? So there's no real like perfect amount of times that you should do it. The thing that you want to make sure that you are able to do is that before you go to step 2, that you really have step 1 conquered, you know? So like, let's say, I believe, without referencing, I believe step 1 is just a dead hang pull-up hold, right? The goal should be to try to get that for about 60 seconds. If you can do that for 60 seconds, then you're good. If you are very confident in step 1, then go to step 2. And if you're not able to hang with step 2, then go back a little bit and go to step 1. But there's no real quantifiable like, okay, you can do it for this and you're perfect to go here, because we are all different. So maybe like your grip strength is really, really good, but your core strength is really, really weak. So then by the time you get to like step 3 might take more time because your core is weak, whereas your grip is not. So there's never a right amount. It's always just trying to figure it out as you go, if that makes sense, okay? One thing I've noticed, and I don't mean this in any way at all, ladies, if you're watching, is women are very like left, right. Is it 8 reps or is it 12 reps? Because when I put on the board, I'll say it's 8 to 12. And they'll be like, well, is it 8 or is it 12? Women are very, you know, it's got to fit into that box type thing, right? Let's see what's going on here. Okay, Jessica, good question. What is some advice for beginners like me? That's a good question. And to try to make it as simple as possible, learn as much as you can, but try to find a couple of good coaches and take in everything they have to offer instead of trying to follow a whole bunch of coaches or influencers, as some of them are being called now, and learn as much as you can, because like I've got like probably like 5 main coaches that I follow. Like I'll follow 50 coaches, but like 5 are my big 5 that I follow. So follow people who are like good at something and good coaches, but don't always think that somebody is good because they're in crazy shape, okay? A good coach is the ability to get other people in shape along with getting themselves in shape. It's not about how crazy shape they get in, but just narrow your field of focus and try to learn as much as you can and not follow too many people, if that makes sense. And always keep an open mind and always be learning. So like I'm constantly trying to always learn more, you know? Kaiser, what you doing? Okay, let's try to catch up here now. Another person from Texas. Texas seems to be a very rough spot right now. Crazy. Hello, Mississippi. Hello, Nicole Lee. It's good to see you on here. Hi, Mags. Good to see you from Ireland. I still remember in that post you tagged me in, and I saw that. I'm very grateful for that. Okay, question from Bridget. How many days a week should you do Stairmaster to tone up, build button legs? So the Stairmaster is better than nothing, okay? It's better than just sitting on your butt and doing nothing. But if you want to build, you really need to lift. You really need to get some type of strength training in my opinion. Stairmaster can be very good. Stairmaster can be good in some ways. When it comes to toning, when it comes to that, that's going to come down to nutrition, okay? I've said this many times and I'll say it again. Tone, the fancy word of tone, means absence of body fat, building and showing off of muscle, and that's it. So if you want to get toned, you can do 2 hours on the Stairmaster 7 days a week, and then if you eat like shit, it doesn't fucking matter. Okay? It's that simple, right? So it's not how much you do on the Stairmaster, but it's what you do the time that you're not on the Stairmaster that's going to play a huge role in getting toned. If you have access to no gym equipment and no strength training stuff, I would recommend learning how to do a lot of body weight movements and maybe investing in a couple of glute bands or something like that. That should help you as well, okay? Cheers. Let's see. Hello, is it Otissa, I think? I apologize if I'm saying this wrong. Hello from New York. Let me catch up here now, ladies. Okay, question from Melissa. My biggest struggle is wondering if I did enough during my workout. What's the best advice you know for getting enough out of your workout? Okay, here's the thing, and I've coached a lot of women with this, is women love getting their fucking asses kicked. Women feel like, I got killed, that was a good workout. But that is exactly the opposite of what you want to be doing, okay? It's exactly the opposite of what you want to be doing. If you rev too high and push too hard, it cuts into your recovery and takes away from tomorrow's workout. So how hard should today's workout be? Today's workout should be hard enough that I am able to get a good workout, but be recovered enough to train again tomorrow, okay? This is very important. Think of every workout that you do, layering on top of the other workout, and then all of those workouts together, making you stronger and leaner and more athletic over weeks and months. Push too hard, and it's going to take away from the next workout. So don't think that you need every single workout needs to be a scorcher. Every single workout needs to be hard and intense, because it does not, okay? Some workouts you're going to feel a little better. Some workouts you're not. That's the way it's going to go. But the goal should be that your workout today is only as hard as it needs to be so that you're able to train again tomorrow, okay? I hope that makes sense, Alyssa. Cindy, how do you survive this kind of weather? Okay, so I live in a place called Newfoundland, and when it is beautiful here in the summer, it is beautiful. But when it is not, it is not. And for 6 months of the year, it's kind of cold. How do you survive it? You are what you tolerate. You are what you tolerate. So like, I'm here because my parents were here and I never got out yet. But it's amazing what you can tolerate. And like, I've traveled the world and I've been so many places. And then every time I come back here, as much as I love Newfoundland in ways, I always think, fuck, why do I live here? There's so many other nice, warm places out there. But it's just, it's amazing what you can tolerate from what you get used to. Okay, Haley, can't get from a 37.5 kilogram clean to a 40. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to buy some micro plates, okay? So you're going to buy a 0.25 kilo plate, and you're going to attach that 0.25 kilo plate onto the side. So you're going to go from 37.5 to 38. Instead of trying to go from 37.5 to 40, because 40 is just too big a jump. This happens with women all the time with bench press. They'll be stuck at 40 kilos, can't get to 42.5. 42.5 is dead, but can squeak out 40.5. So you want to buy a set of small micro plates or fractional plates. Best thing you could ever buy, and they're used in weightlifting all the time, okay? Literally, you could throw them in your gym bag and they'll weigh like 2.5 pounds or something. But a set of fractional plates. I've written articles on this, and I will look for one later and try to share it, okay? Okay, question from Claire. Reps are my issue. I have to do 10 of any left or I feel rubbish. Okay, so this gets back to what I said a few minutes ago, which is how you feel is not always an indicator of how your training is going, okay? So for example, on my board there yesterday, I did squats and I did 5 sets of 10 on squats. My next workout now will be 5 sets of 5 on squats, okay? What am I going to feel more? What workout is going to make my legs feel more trashed and more rubbery and worked? Obviously, it's going to be the workout where I'm doing 10 reps, but 10 reps is not a good number to try to build strength, okay? 5 is a great number to try to build strength. So if you're always doing 10, stop doing 10, start doing 5, and do a mixture of 10 and 5, and then maybe sometimes like 15, but do more 5s and do less 10s, okay? You don't need to always do 10 reps. That's not a good way to get strong, okay? Okay, so Jessica, question from Jessica is, how much muscle can women build per year with progressive overload while not in a deficit or bulk? This is going to be very individual to the person. And I can tell you, after coaching thousands of women, like literally of all shapes and sizes and fitness levels and athletic levels, is there's no like set number of like, you can scientifically build this much muscle if you do this, it's whatever. Some people are going to have more genetic ability to build muscle. Some people are going to have better recovery systems. Some people are going to have the ability to eat more food. Some people handle stress better. There are so many factors, okay? So many. But here's the thing. You got what you got. So no matter what's going on, you are only able to control you. If the person next to you is a freak and builds muscle easier, you can't control that, but you can control you. So you're able to control your training, your nutrition, your recovery, your sleep, your supplements. If you do all the right things, who knows what that number may be, but the thing is that you're in control of doing that thing, so it's up to you to do that thing. But there's no way of trying to determine, the average. I've seen some girls that were like, could do everything right and make no progress, and I've seen other girls that could eat like shit and, be lean and strong. It's very, very different to each person, okay? Let's catch up here now. Hi, Glenda. Good to see you on here, and I miss you big time. I hope you're doing good, and I love seeing your training updates. How do I know okay, question from Carly. How do I know if I should be doing steady straight, I'm guessing, so steady stream cardio or HIT? Why not do both? Why do you have to do one or the other, Both can be beneficial, but I think women have a tendency to do too much cardio and not enough strength training anyway. So like, I don't do any cardio in my training right now. Like when the gym was open, we did some sled work. I'll do some swings, higher heart rate swings. I'll probably do them tonight. But I do no conditioning, no HIT stuff. All my strength training is either done heavy or done in a circuit-based thing. And then I also love going for longer walks. So you can do both types of cardio, but don't think that one is better than the other, especially when we're talking fat loss, because fat loss is going to come down mostly to nutrition. Okay, question from Christina from Romania, which is really fucking cool. I remember the last couple of years, I've competed and coached against Team Romania, and always a nice bunch of people. I have to say, the Romanians were always like, I remember seeing a bunch of Romanians, I was like, geez, those guys are fucking scary and intimidating. And then I started talking to them, and I was like, these guys are the best bunch ever. Anyway, back to your question. You're getting stuck with losing weight, and it stresses you out. Okay, so here's the thing, is you should never always focus on the end goal. You should focus on the process, okay? So like you should always have a goal of like, let's say I want to lose 10 pounds in 6 weeks. And then let's say you're at like week 4 and things are not going very well. By stressing yourself out and putting pressure on yourself, you're not going to make your results any better. So it's very simple, okay? I don't know, it's going to sound funny, but any Spike Lee fans here, do the right thing. Like, as long as you do the right thing, then the right things will happen. However, it's important to make sure that what the right thing is the right thing, because, like let's say your coach, sometimes, your coach may need a different perspective or a different view or to change things up. But by stressing yourself out and putting pressure on yourself to do more is never going to work very well, especially when it comes to fat loss. Everybody thinks fat loss is always about calories, okay? And right now the trend is calories, right? You want to get lean? Deficit. That's all you hear is deficit, right? And while that does play a role, you know what else plays a role with fat loss? Stress, sleep, recovery, all of those things. So being stressed out is not going to help things in any way. I deal a lot with stress. I've always dealt with stress my whole life. Things that help me are soft tissue work, foam rolling, light stretching to try to unwind at the end of the night. Magnesium is huge for stress, okay? Epsom salt bath, it's topical magnesium as well. But for the most part, you need to kind of like spend some time with your mind and try to learn to not stress about things, okay? Question from Haley about the temperature. So it's like today is like only like -2 or 3. So today is not too cold. But it's not always that the temperature gets so cold here. It's that where I live is by the ocean. So like it's like a different type of cold. Like if you were to go in central Canada, it's fucking bitter, like just cuts you in half type cold. But the cold here is, I guess you could say it's like a wetter cold. So it just kind of like chills you to the bone a little bit different, right? Hello, Nicole. Hello, Donna. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, my weight is 64 and 167. I want to build muscle. Okay, so it doesn't matter how big, how small, how old, how young. Building muscle is going to come down to a lot of the same factors. Okay, getting enough protein, lifting weights, causing a stimulus, paying attention to your recovery. There's many factors that are going to play a role, but they're going to be pretty similar almost all the time. Okay, I'm just going to scroll here for a second, ladies, and see if I can catch up on anything that I may be missing. Okay, so a question from Tracy. Hi, I'm about to start a cut. Any tips? Thank you so much. Just got a download on your 42-day exercise program for HIT type cardio. Not sure that will help. Okay, so really quickly, cutting tips, okay? Cutting tips. Have a goal, have a plan, have some type of structure, do your best to stick to those things, and then don't fly away from those things. Just keep doing the right things, and I talked about this earlier. And like, honestly, fat loss is not, well, no, fat loss is easy, okay? It's doing the right things that's hard. You know what I mean? Like it's making the right food choices 90% of the time. It's getting your workouts in 90% of the time. It's learning to say no when you shouldn't eat something. It's learning to do a little more and sometimes instead of doing a little less, you know what I mean? So like that would be my tips, and this is what we did in our programs, and that's why our programs always got such amazing response, because we build in all of those things. But also never neglect the importance of your mindset and your mental focus when it comes to fat loss, because I'm a big believer that this is going to control almost everything else, okay? Yes, Jessica, patience and consistency is huge. And like, I see in this group all the time, and like there's a lot of new people that join, and they're like, hey, you know, I'm just getting started and I want to do this now, right? Or I want this immediately, or I want it yesterday. You have to learn to be patient, and you have to learn to be consistent. A great quote that I always go to is, nothing good comes easy and nothing good stays easy. You know, if you want results, you always have to put in the work and be consistent and do the right things. So just make it part of your day. You know, like to me, like eating healthy and lifting weights and training that's just part of my day now. Like I don't have to motivate myself to do these things. That's just part of my life and part of my day, you know? Hello, Jillian. It's good to see you. And yes, the wind here is also crazy, especially where I live. I took my boy out for a walk today and literally almost got fucking knocked over by him and the wind. Michelle, oh, this is an interesting question. Okay, so any general tips you want to give us? What's on your mind? Ooh. Okay, so this has been an interesting kind of like experience for me, going from a more one-on-one based coach, coaching hands-on, being very hands-on with one person, 5 people, 20 people, 50 people. I mean, I think I've coached workouts with like 150 plus people. So what's going on in my mind now is transitioning, especially with all of this COVID stuff, is learning to take what's going on up here and what I know up here and putting it out there, you know? And that's what I'm going through now in terms of like creating video products, writing more, and doing those things, because like, you know, right now that's the world we live in. So I've actually been spending a lot of time trying to think about like taking what I've got here and what I've got here and putting it out. And, you know, this group and this community has been amazing for that. So that's been a real big thing on my mind recently, and I'm very grateful for that. Let's see what else we have going on here now. And if we don't have anything, I'm going to head out soon and go and get my workout in. I don't know if you can, Kaiser, what you doing? But yeah, getting back to things before we kind of finish up here, it's very important to like just to be, as I said earlier, patient and consistent, okay? No one cares how hard you can work out for 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, all right? So if you kill yourself for 3 weeks and you like cut your calories really hard and, you know, you train 2 hours a day and everything, that's great. You're going to get amazing results, like without a doubt. But then what happens after those 3 weeks or 6 weeks, you know? while it's okay at times to ramp up a little harder and back off a little bit more, come the end of the day, if you are starting here and you want to get here, there's no big jump up to do that. You have to pay your dues and you have to be consistent. So don't think that there's any way that you're going to like rush through things. And I also think it's important that women learn more about strength training and learn more about the skills of lifting weights, because anybody, and I got a kettlebell course I'm working on, but I got a kettlebell there. Anybody can just pick up a kettlebell and be like, I'm going to do this, or pick up a barbell and be like, I'm going to do this. But like, have you been taught that skill? And like, do you really know what you're doing? Like, strength is a skill. So learning how to use that skill and learning how to like use those tools is a very important thing, So I think that like more women should spend time always trying to be students and trying to learn more instead of always trying to think about like, how can I kill myself more? Or how can I make myself more tired, if that makes sense? I'm going to try to catch up here now. Tista, thank you. Hello, Susan. I miss you and I hope you are doing well. Very nice comment here from Otissa Marble, which said, we are grateful for you. And thank you for that. So something I do every morning, and I've been doing it on and off for a while, is the first thing I do in the morning is I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, okay? I have a little app called Memento, which I absolutely love. So I've gotten in this habit of like every morning, as soon as I get up, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. And it's a great thing. And, I'm incredibly grateful for this group, the ability to be able to share what I love and my passion for lifting and strength and fitness with women like all over the world who are very appreciative of it. Is a really wonderful feeling, Okay, question from Nicole. I just bought a heavy duty squat rack, but wondering if a power cage would be better. Any thoughts? Both are good. I'm right now I got a big cage. And then when I set up this big cage in my little room, I was like, fuck, maybe I should have gotten a squat rack so it wouldn't have been taking up as much space, right? Sometimes you're never happy no matter what you have. But the more important thing is learning how to make the best of what you've got. So if you've got a squat rack, you're doing better than like 90% of the people already. Do you need a cage? Not really, like both are good. What I would recommend that you do is if you have a squat rack, is to buy a good set of spotter arms, okay? So depending on the rack that you have, it's always better to train smart and train safe, whether it's with bench pressing or squatting. You can train right and do things right 999 times, and then the one time something goes wrong, you're kind of fucked, especially with bench press. This happened a couple of weeks ago at the gym, and one of the girls I was coaching, she's a pretty good lifter, she's kind of new, and I never think about setting up bench press safeties. You got spotters, and usually if the bar misses, it comes back down to your chest. But anyway, the bar came up and went boom right to her face, like just like that. And luckily the safeties were set up. And I mean, I'm talking like she missed by like this much, right? So like always pay attention to safety. So if you've got those spotter arms, then that's great. You're doing good. If you've got a barbell and you've got a squat rack and you've got like monster arms, you're gold, man. You literally have access to so much stuff. It's crazy. So, now it's learning how to get better, learning how to get stronger, and learning how to master the tools that you have, if that makes sense. And on that note, I'm going to take off now and get my own workout in. I think I fucked up the time on this one, so I apologize. The next one, I will make sure that I pay more attention and get the time right. And thank you very much for all of your support. And I'm incredibly grateful for everyone here and for this whole community. Have a great day. Cheers.